It was just loneliness.
So you didn't have any friends?
I didn't even know one person on this continent, and Canada was quite popular. The quality of education is world class.
What advice would you give to the newcomers who are just starting their journey?
What helped me was reaching out and making friends. Send that email, make that call.
The Nigerian currency, Naira, has lost its value.
We're resilient people. We somehow find a way to make things work. It's the Nigerian spirit. It's unbeatable. It's strong. It just keeps going.
The problem of unemployment, any plans going on or anything?
Everything will get sorted with time. Just keep your dreams alive.
Abraham Lincoln said, "All that I am or hope to be, I owe to my angel mother." Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the world. Today we are celebrating Mother's Day, honoring the beautiful mothers in the world. Namaste and welcome to another brand new edition of Beyond the Borders with Arjun. My name is Arjun. You are listening to 96.7 CKLU FM, your station. Well, this show is all about immigrants, newcomers, international students for inspiring stories, practical advice, and your questions answered all in 1 hour. All right, I already mentioned you are listening to us live right here, right now on 96.7 cklu.ca, radio player, Canada app. You can also listen and watch us live on different social media platform. Well, all you have to do is tune in to Arjun. You have to search on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many different other social media platform. And for your questions and queries, feedbacks, reach out to us at hello@tuneintoarjun.com. It's hello@tuneintoarjun.com. All right, once again, happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers in the world. All right. And yes, talking about today's guest, I'm very much honored, very much privileged to have a special guest. She is none other than the Immigration Development Officer at the City of Greater Sudbury. All right. She is none other than Mnena Ibeneme. Talking about her, her journey to Canada began as an international student at Laurentian University, driven by dreams of a better life, inspired by the support she received. She now works to help newcomers in Sudbury, to those newcomers, to those immigrants, to those international students to find their own path to success. So join us as we hear Nena inspiring story of determinations and her commitment to supporting newcomers in building their future in Canada. So, without further ado, please welcome our guest for today. Thank you so much for coming and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm excited.
All right.
I'm nervous, but I'm excited. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for your time. So, first of all, I'd like to wish you a very, very happy Mother's Day as we are having this conversation on Mother's Day, May 12th. How will you remember your mother? What do you want to say?
Wow, mixed feelings. But she left a legacy
Oh,
that is amazing. She spent most of her life helping people, and her life inspires me. Her death anniversary is a year now. She passed on last year in April, so I remember her with mixed feelings.
I'm so
But I
sorry.
celebrate. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I celebrate all that she represented. Her the impact. She always believed if you could do something to help just one person, it was enough. So that has stayed with me, and has inspired me to think every day about what I am doing with my life, and if I'm living for just myself, or if I'm living to leave something behind. Just how many people will remember me and remember that I impacted their life positively. So that's what drives me. mostly now.
Exactly, you are inspired by your mom and you have done a lot for the community. I was about to come to that point. We had conversation about your mother's dedications to helping others, inspired your passion for serving people in need, and now your passion turning it as your profession as an immigration development officer. Could you please elaborate more about this connection between her influence and your current professions?
For sure. Thank you for
Yeah.
that question. So, yeah, coming to Canada, as many immigrants can relate, you start out looking for any job, really, anything and everything. I mean, I'm sure most immigrants understand what it means to make 150 applications and
Yeah.
you're on Indeed, you're everywhere, you're just searching. It was my story as well. And I usually say I'm very fortunate because I found this job, or the job found me, but the universe just has a way of doing things, I think. And I'm just really, really grateful. Because when I saw that the role was advertised and I applied, one of the things that stood out to me was I would somehow not by myself, of course, but I would somehow be doing something in some way that would contribute towards making a newcomer's journey easier. So that's what stayed with me. And then went through the whole process. And I can say so far, I am so grateful because it's fulfilling that in some way I'm doing something that matters. It takes a lot, as you know, for an immigrant to get up and move to a new place.
That's right.
So if there's the slightest way, if there's anything I can contribute to that, it's enough for me. It's meaningful. It's fulfilling. I've met amazing people. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Really.
it's amazing giving back to the community and helping others, guiding others. All right. So I'm going to take you to the journey from Nigeria to Canada. So it's a most asked question, I guess. What inspired you to choose Laurentian University? What inspired you to choose Canada to come in here? What brings you here? And for your future study, which is 1,000 miles away from your home country, Nigeria to Canada, your journey.
I wanted more. I think that was the starting point. I wanted more, and I love adventure. So that spirit of adventure has always stayed with me. I've done a bit of traveling in Africa and outside Africa, but I wanted more. Um, and I longed to be in a system that works. I mean, I'm just trying to watch my words here. But being in a system that works, those were a few reasons. Plus, Canada was quite popular. It was becoming a popular destination. So I took a look. I did some research, and I liked what I saw. And the quality of education is amazing. I mean, world class. And so that caught my attention and my interest. And then Laurentian University was a good choice for me because they had a program where in my master's degree I could customize my degree. So that meant that I could pick courses of interest and just kind of pick and choose and put everything together in a basket. And that was great, really great, because I somehow got some MBA courses. I got courses in natural resources. I just here and there, a little bit of the things that I was interested in. So that was the reason behind Laurentian University. And I did, when I looked up Sudbury, Sudbury was a beautiful, the land is beautiful. I mean, it is beautiful. It is big enough to have all the amenities, that you would want. The malls, it has a lot, but then it's small enough to recognize people on the bus and in your neighborhood. So yes, that that
This
that that was what inspired my choice.
from Nigeria to Canada and Sudbury and Laurentian University. All right. So I'm sure every immigrant has their own story. They have to suffer this way or that way. So I'm sure you remember the biggest challenge you faced, the one you remember when you first arrived in Canada. How did you overcome them?
Loneliness was the biggest thing.
First thing, yeah.
It is the first thing because stepping out of my comfort zone and just unfamiliar territory, not knowing anyone. I remember getting to Radisson, and it dawned on me that I didn't even know one person on this continent,
Exactly.
and yeah, it was just loneliness.
So you didn't have any friends from your country, or you didn't know anybody in here?
Yeah, I mean, I knew a few people in Canada, but not in Sudbury,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah. Okay.
I wasn't close to them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just knew that, oh, someone knew someone here and there, and that sort of thing. And then the second thing would be not knowing where to find things. But I have to take the opportunity to say Gova is amazing. I mean, the city is doing a great job with Gova. Like, Gova, just, they're amazing because not knowing where I'm headed, I would always go on the Gova on my phone, and it would take me exactly where I needed to be, and it was always precise.
Yeah.
The timing was good. It didn't matter if it was snow or rain, or so that really helped. I must say it helped me a whole lot. And then for the loneliness part, what helped me was reaching out and making friends and putting myself out there. Because naturally, I'm a person of few words. Naturally, I'd rather just stay in my small corner. But I discovered I needed to meet people, make friends, and so that helped a lot. Right now, I'm so grateful. I have at work, I call them family because even when my mom passed, their support was amazing. Because I was here, I wasn't back home, so I'm grateful for that. I'm also grateful that asking questions, and that's the thing with you're new in Sudbury, keep asking questions. Like, send an email, go online, just send that email, make that call. You could get information that may be helpful.
So, would you like to add on that, based on your own experience and based on the lessons you have learned along the way, what advice would you give to the newcomers who are just starting their journey in Canada, who are new, who are unknown to the people, just started, just landed, or who are immigrants like us?
Kudos to you. You're brave. um, don't give up. The hard part is over. Just you only fail when you give up, and even when that happens, you pick yourself up, you learn from the experience. So just be true to yourself, be open, follow the process. Everything would get sorted with time. Just keep researching, keep planning, keep asking questions. No simply means next opportunity. So just don't give up. Just keep asking, keep researching, keep planning. Keep your dreams alive.
Keep your dreams alive, and you must have patience, you must have patience, and you must reach to the people if you want to. All right, according to the records, the Nigerian currency naira has lost its value by 66.68%. So how is this affecting students who come from Nigeria to Canada for their further studies as an international student?
Oh, I mean, of course, it's the impact is felt home and abroad, as we like to say it. Cost of goods, services is gone up in my home country, and even for a student preparing to come to Canada, then you would have to deal with the exchange rate.
Yeah.
Last I checked, it was $1 Canadian to 1,014 naira. That was some
1014
naira.
naira.
So it's a lot. I
It's
mean,
a lot.
what we would hope for ideal is $1 to 1 naira, but then we're
Exactly.
over 1,000 here. And I'm not an economist. I wouldn't be able to analyze that in that sense, but I hear from back home, everybody's feeling the crunch, and so imagine even now proof of funds has gone up.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you were, planning with 5 million naira, for example, and that's just throwing figures out there, it's almost double or even triple that now just because of the exchange rates. So, of course, and then a lot of more planning is required. You have to be ready. It's just so I can imagine if you it may impact students in the sense that changing, just getting those funds ready, possibly even deferring and then getting here, settling in, it's just you still have to have funds to survive. Aside from tuition, you have the bills here to and if you don't have a job yet, then you're relying on savings, or you're getting money from back home, so the crunch is felt.
So don't you think it's like close to impossible to come in here and doing your further studies? What do you think?
It is very difficult for sure. Like I said, it means that you would have planned really, you have to be ready financially to make the move now. We thought it was difficult before, but now it's even more difficult.
Exactly.
And at the time I left Nigeria, if an
In
item.
2021.
Yes, in 2021.
So in the duration of 3 years,
You can say the
what
cost.
was the exchange rate in 2021? If you
It was
remember.
definitely less than 1,000. I don't want to throw any figures out there. I have to do check again or something, but
Okay.
definitely
Less than
it was
1,000, yeah.
yeah, it was a bit better. It wasn't this bad.
Okay.
So
So, what do you want to say to all the people in Nigeria who wants to pursue their further studies in here in Canada, or what do you want to say? You are in that position as a development officer. So, any plans going on or anything good news for Nigerian student? Anything else like that?
unfortunately, no, that's not the scope of what my role covers. So
Okay.
no, in that capacity, unfortunately, I do not have any advice for them. But from one Nigerian to another, we're resilient people. We somehow find a way to make things work. It's the Nigerian spirit. It's unbeatable. It's strong. It just keeps going. So we'll always find a way somehow.
All right,
So
somehow.
just keep going.
Okay, so since you are the Immigration Development Officer at the City of Greater Sudbury, I'm going to ask you some questions. What essential resources and services does Greater Sudbury offer to support newcomers like us or immigrants? How can the newcomers easily access them? What do you want to say?
I will prefix my answer by saying I'm happy to, provide more information. I will be calling some organizations, but it's not exhaustive. I mean, there's a lot more out there than I can mention now. So I'm going to prefix by saying that. That said, there's language services, settlement services, employment services. There's a lot out there to help. Aside from city services, which the City of Greater Sudbury provides for newcomers, organizations like YMCA, Colette Boreal, Centre de Sante, Sparks Employment, Employment Options, Church of Epiphany. There are tons of organizations in the community that support. It's part of their mandate to help newcomers settle in, and they are doing a fantastic job. And then there are also departments in the City of Greater Sudbury that support both newcomers and community members. So tons of social services, children's services. There's a lot, social services. There's a lot going on.
But the problem is from student part, from international students part, newcomers part, from their perspective, how to like access them in an easy way, or how to access there.
And then thank you for mentioning the international students, because Laurentian University, that's where I went for my degree.
Okay.
And Laurentian has a lot of support. They helped me a lot. I had mock interviews. I had the opportunity to have my resume critiqued. I had my very first job as a student. I got that because there's a platform as a student that I could log on to and then search for available jobs.
Wow.
So if you're an international student, go to your international student office. They're there to help you.
Okay.
And if you have questions about immigration, at least I know Cambrian and Laurentian for sure have regulated immigration consultants in those schools. Go to them, ask questions. guys, just keep asking questions.
Keep asking
Yeah,
questions.
just keep asking. If they don't have the answer, they probably point you in the direction you should be looking. So those are also additional services. And to access the services,
Yeah.
please go online.
Go
The
online.
internet is your friend.
Okay.
For me, that was it for me. Just keep doing your research. Visit investsudbury.ca.
What's that?
Investsudbury.ca.
Investsudbury.ca.
That is correct.
Okay, okay.
Visit the website, see what's happening in the city of Greater Sudbury. There's a lot. There's an events calendar that tells you what's happening every weekend. I think most people don't know that. There's amazing things happening. There's the Sudbury Multicultural. Give them a call, email them. They support newcomers as well. You can just, there's a lot. The local immigration partnership also has a page where information that supports newcomers is hosted. So please go on investsudbury.ca, find the local immigration partnership page.
Okay.
There's resources there, and you can email welcome@greatersudbury.ca. If you have questions, if we don't have the answers, we'll find the answers for you.
Okay.
But there's resources out there. Please take the advantage.
I'd like to add one more questions. Like most of the newcomers, most of the international students, they're badly facing the problem of job scarcity, unemployment. So those who are facing the problem of unemployment, those who are facing the problem of financially. So is there any way you can guide them, or any way you can help them with the financial part?
Okay.
Anything like.
So it just occurred to me when you
Yeah.
asked this question that we've been throwing the immigration development officer around.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Yeah.
as it is my role.
Yeah.
However, I am not able to offer immigration advice.
Okay, okay,
And
okay.
so my day-to-day work life, I coordinate a program, a project, the Sudbury Local Immigration Partnership.
Okay.
So this partnership, as the name implies, we cannot advance advocacy for newcomers on our own. We work in partnership with community organizations.
Okay.
We have a council that gives us direction and that we're accountable to. And this council is made up of 20 organizations in the community. So that we have, from different sectors. So settlement, education, health, employment, business, social services are represented on this council. So we come together, we meet monthly for now, save the summer months, or, if there is need or not, we're flexible in that sense, but we meet frequently. The council meets frequently, and they're always having conversations about the community, how to enhance the community, what supports are available. There's a ton of collaboration going on in the community. Organizations refer issues to other organizations where appropriate. Just there's a lot going on behind the scenes.
Okay.
A ton of support. I think we're very, very fortunate. As a newcomer, I'm not going anywhere. I mean, I love Sudbury. There's a ton of support in Sudbury. So
Yeah, it's amazing. We just talk about community partners. So I'm gonna ask you, like, could you elaborate on the role of community partners supporting newcomers in Greater Sudbury, and how do these partnership benefits newcomers?
thank you for that question.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So collaboration is one, and then referring. So if you, for example, showed up as a newcomer who needed francophone services,
Yeah.
and fortunately, YMCA even provides bilingual services in both.
Yeah.
But if, for any reason you needed more, they would refer you to maybe Centro de Sante. I'm just using that as an example, right?
Okay.
So that referral and that support is just one of the many ways that, they work together, that collective effort. How we say in Africa, we say it takes a village to raise a child. It's the same idea. All of these organizations are working together. Another very good example is the advocacy for the RNIP to be made permanent, the Sudbury Chamber of Commerce played a significant role
Okay.
alongside all the other community organizations, letters of support were, gotten and that sort of thing. So that collaboration across board is amazing. And as you know, RNIP is an amazing program. That's a
Exactly.
huge win. So there's benefits to the collaboration that's happening. Coming together under the umbrella of the Local Immigration Partnership, all the partners work together to ensure that services are available for newcomers. So all the services, we try to ensure that the box is ticked, like there are organizations offering, all the services that a newcomer would require.
Okay. So can you share some specific or recent initiatives or efforts by Greater Sudbury to support newcomers, and how have these initiatives positively impacted newcomers and the community? Any efforts going on?
Yeah, for sure. We had a really great event in March.
Okay.
It was hosted on the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination.
Okay.
So seeing the community come together, amazing event. The turnout was great. We had reps from IRCC. The mayor was there to open the event. We had community partners and just coming together, seeing the community being open to come together to have conversations around racial discrimination alone says a lot. Because even acknowledging you find solutions to problems when you can first acknowledge what the problem is,
Yeah.
and then creating that brave space where everyone is collaboratively talking about how we can move forward and what organizations are doing to support and that sort of thing. And then we had partners who came in to also help us with a mini workshop session that
Okay.
touched on unconscious bias and that sort of thing. So those pieces help to encourage organizations, community to go beyond personal bias and start to implement systems where organizations are open to employing newcomers, and all of that integration is happening successfully. So.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Almost at the end, I have one more question. It's like, how does Greater Sudbury engage with newcomers to gather feedbacks, suggestions to improve its services and support system?
Thank you for that question. Just Thursday, we were at the library, South End Library.
Okay.
We were hosting a focus group conversation with newcomers on employment. So that is one of the ways. So please, whenever you see something, please come out, let's tell us what, we want to hear from newcomers. We're always looking to identify what the gaps are. We don't claim to know it all. We want to know how can we improve. What can we do to be better? What services need to be enhanced? What are we missing? So we're always open to feedback.
Yeah.
Again, don't wait for an event or a focus group. Email us at welcome@greatersudbury.ca. Let us know what we're missing, what we can do to support newcomers more. And we got a lot of honest feedback on Thursday that we will be, taking back. That's usually great. It's a great tool for advocacy and to request and take it to all our partners and have those conversations and hopefully have policies in place and things that can help going forward. And then just bringing it forward to the decision makers is what I'm trying to describe.
Yeah. Wow, amazing. So before we leave, almost at the end, before we leave, anything you want to say to the newcomers, anything to the student, to our listeners, anything?
Okay, I wasn't ready for that. But yeah, Sudbury has a lot of great people. I am so fortunate to be here at work, organizations where I volunteer, and just in the neighborhood all around. They're really good people. They're welcoming community. They're very generous community.
Yeah.
And it's a safe community. I love to say Sudbury is the best place to live, work, and play.
Yeah.
And it is, for me, it is.
Yeah.
So you made the right choice coming to Sudbury. Just don't give up. Hang in there. Keep going. Keep planning. Keep strategizing. Keep meeting people. Just network and show up. Make sure you show up as your best self everywhere you go and
keep asking questions.
keep asking questions.
Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for all the insights.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you
happy
so
to be
much.
here. Thank you
Thank
for
you so
having me.
much.